Flames game day. They do have the Winnipeg Jets in town. We talked last week. They had that nice little 2-day break, and then it's going to be game day, off day from now until the end of the month. So they've got Winnipeg tonight, Montreal on Wednesday, Winnipeg again in Winnipeg on Friday. It just continues. It is a gauntlet.
Rangers here Sunday. Rangers are good on the road.
The Flames are having a heck of a start of the year.
They're in tough.
It is 1-5. They won opening night. They've lost 5 since. They are the lowest scoring team in the NHL. Their goals, the goal differential, no one has it worse. It's -14 in goals for and against. And they've played Wolf a lot. They've played Cooley some. Cooley has been fine in the appearances that we've seen him. But a lot of what you feared.
Cooley's been as good as Wolf.
Yeah, and I honestly, Wolf hasn't been great. He's the least of their problems right now.
Yeah, it's not a shot.
Because I'm seeing some people, this and that, expected goals. I'm like, when you watch that first period against Vegas and you've got 3 grade A's with stars alone in the slot, like this team last year was built on structure and hard work, and you had neither on Saturday, and you can't ask your goalie to stop more than 1 or 2 of those, and sometimes all 3 goes in because they're stars. It's Marner, it's Eichel, it's Stone, it's Hurdle. Like, you can't leave star players open in the slot.
Yeah. I would predict at this point, I'm not worried about it long term, that Wolf is not going to be able to steal you as many games this year. And I don't know if it goes hand in hand with all guys that signed big contracts. Seems to be a common theme. I don't know if it's anything to do with that, but this team is not battling like they did last year.
Agreed.
So those things combined are not going to be the fear becomes, and we don't want to jump ahead too far, but does the market, it won't dry up, but the return for these assets that you thought were fairly valuable?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that already started?
Well, we got 4 months to figure that out. I think the deadline's in March, and I understand what you're saying, but it is the teams at the bottom that aren't having good years that sell every year. So I don't know that it's a totally unique scenario. But if you ask me how's Rasmus playing, I'd say not his best. How's Coleman playing? Well, not the best I've seen him. How's Nazem? Well, he's got some helpers, but he's still looking for some score. It hasn't been a good start for anyone on this team.
The best player the other night was Huberdeau, who was playing his first game.
Yeah. He was very good.
But the bar was pretty low.
Yeah, and I liked him, and he had some jump. But, I mean, God, you've got to have more than 1 or 2 guys going.
And that's all they basically had.
And the issue becomes, there's a lot of them at this point. But when you're 1-4 and desperate for a win, and you come up with that effort, I worry.
That's I was going to say.
I worry. You just had 2 days off in Vegas. You should have been able to rally and get together and come up with some sort of, we love each other, so we should play hard. I didn't see it. It's good.
Well, and the funniest part is that all we heard last year was culture, 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 culture. It was like, yes, okay, great. But guess what? Culture you don't put in a bag and bring to camp the next year. It's just like when we were talking about should you move Anderson or not, you have people that are just like, you can't, this group is, they're greater than the sum of their parts. Like, well, they are this year. But you rarely see teams overshoot their talent level by 15, 20 points many years in a row. It's just not a thing.
Well, and what's tough on culture is losing.
100%.
Last year, they come out of the gate 5-1, correct?
I think they were 5-0-1.
Right? And this year, they're 1-5. So,
and sorry, you weren't here because you're on vacation.
Right. I was working.
There's expectations this year. I said it last week. Are the expectations high? No, but they're way higher than last year at the start of the year. And everything was gravy last year. And I don't know if that has anything to do with how they're playing, but there's certainly more expectations this year. And typically that leads to coaching squeezing a little harder, doing a little more, overthinking a little too much, and not right. And all the players, Anderson wants out of here. Okay, well, I got I'm going to show him how good I am. Wolf, I got a big contract. I'm going to play even better. There's all kinds of indicators that are like, this is not the loose, hardworking, having fun. This is just, we're happy to be part of it team.
Yeah. And here's the thing, expectations outside of that room might not be that high, but they've been talking about 97 points all preseason, all training camp. Like, someone did the math on what they have to do. It's like 44, 22, and 1 or something to get, like, what are we talking about? Like,
yeah,
they're not getting 97 points. And now the conversation is the exact opposite. So while many of us thought this was a potential outcome, the only 30 guys in the world that didn't think it was a possibility, the guys that had 96 points in that room last year, they're the ones getting crushed by expectations right now, not this fan base. A lot of these fans thought everything's going to have to go right for them to do that again.
Now, we've seen teams go into Vegas and be a little bit demoralized, but it was awfully early. It was the first shot on net that went in, and
unmolested in the slot.
It just kind of continued from there. They don't feel like a team right now that's close to turning it around and going on a run.
No,
to me.
No, and you know what? Like, maybe things sometimes do feel like they're turning, and they do. But it wasn't like they made a ton of mistakes. It's just that every time they did, it was a glaring Evan Bouchard special. It was in the back of their net.
Is it even mistakes or just
coverage for 3 guys in the slot were mistakes? But yeah,
but is that? I understand what you're saying. It's a mistake, but I think the mistakes are because they're not invested in actually. When were they dominating that game? After going 1-4 to start the year, and the one win being a goddamn fluke.
And
you go into Vegas with an effort that's flat at best.
It was flat. And look, at the end of the year, this might be a top 5 team against a bottom 5 team. And why in the world would we expect it in that building against that team? I don't
expect anything.
But at least the one thing they can't control is their work ethic.
Well, and
their attitudes.
We were worried about it last year, what the team was going to look like. And the one thing we found solace in and enjoyed was this was a team that showed up every night.
Yes.
There were not it would be less than a handful of games last year where you were disappointed in their effort.
Laid an egg, didn't show up, work ethic was. They haven't played a 60-minute game yet. They're 6 games in. They have not put a full effort forth. They haven't.
Yes. What made them successful, they're not doing.
Agreed.
They're drinking the Kool-Aid.
What's crazy, too, and out of that room, the one guy, and we had some fun with him last year, but I feel like Mackenzie Weegar, his give a shit meter, it's high. I got a lot of time for Weegar. Bad play on the first goal. He kind of skates by it and just kind of, I'm going to try and chop, but he misses it. And then it's Barbashev in front to Marner or whatever it was. And then that's in net. And the one play he tries to chip it off, just kind of knock it back off the boards. Then it ends back up in the net. I feel for this guy because on a night like that where your mistakes are so glaring, it's like, wow, look at Weegar. Has he had the same D partner more than once or twice? It's been Hanley. It's been Miro. It's
dude, give him Perek already. And they finally did at the end in garbage time. But like, this was my whole point at the beginning of the year. Like, at least you're working with skill. There'll be mistakes, but you're not hanging with a waiver claim on the playing top 4 minutes if it's with Perek. Like, there'll be mistakes, and that's okay. But at least you've got someone with more talent to work with.
It's a tough spot for a guy like him.
They got 3 top 4 defensemen.
I'll tell you, he would rather play with Perek.
Yeah, he's their best defenseman, but he's on any given night. Am I a puck mover? Am I a D first guy? What do you need me to do here? So now he's got Bean tonight. So
Bean's been a tough grind.
That would be tough.
So he said, Hanley, Mirmanov, and Bean is his 3 partners through 6 games.
What's wrong with Pahal?
I honestly, he was such a great right shot third pair guy, and I don't know why all of a sudden I think it's the right-handed thing because they want Perek in, but Weegar can play the left. It's right in front of you there. Yeah, Weegar played the left more than he's played the right the last half decade.
I don't like what they're doing. Can I and to take a shot at Weegar? Well, if you want to be the best, then carry the guy.
Yeah, I know,
right? Like it's the easy thing to pile on and say.
Carried all last year. Mirmanov the first third.
I'm with you. I'm
Hanley
just
the second 2/3.
So moving some things around there, Zary was centering the Klapka-Longberg line. He's now back on the wing with Honzek and Frost. Honzek was with Coleman and Backlund.
If you're looking for Yegor Sharangovich, keep looking.
Yeah, that's in a way the story that's coming out of this is that Sharangovich is not part of that morning skate routine, which would suggest he's not playing tonight.
And was lambasted on Hockey Night in Canada.
Yeah, here's Kevin Bieksa, who saw something he didn't, and many people did, but saw something that got his dander up, and he was willing to talk about it.
The concern is if you're losing games and guys are not giving it their all, that's what I would be worried about. You know, the culture of the team. Like, it's one thing to lose, but it's the way you lose. So, like, this is a 6-1 game. I'm going to pick on Sharangovich. Watch this effort right here. Down 6-1. I think he apologized. I literally think he apologized for almost running into Carlson there. Like, I would absolutely lose my mind on the bench if I saw that. And I don't even know if the coaches saw that because there's so much going on. You watch that in the video. That's a culture thing for me. So I would show that clip in practice. And I would say, where are my guys that care? Where are my guys that care about losing? I'll play Longberg. I'll double shift Longberg the rest of the game. If that's the way guys are going to compete, Klapka, like, play the guys that care. If you're going to get an effort like that from a guy, get rid of them. You know what I mean? You're disgracing the NHL with an effort like that. Down 6-1, be a little mad. Like, as Brian Burke used to say, give a guy a dirty look. Yeah. Like, hate to lose. Like, I hate to lose more than I like to win. And that guy doesn't hate to lose, and I wouldn't want a guy like that. And I'm picking on one thing, and I don't know like how long his shift was. I don't really care, but that's a pretty glaring problem for me if I'm anyone in that team.
You can't.
Yeah.
Here's where, like, I want to put this. Like, I have not been impressed by Yegor. I feel like there's about 15 Yegors on this team, and he was the guy that got put on Hockey Night Canada on blast.
Yeah.
But it isn't one guy not finishing a check, and it isn't one guy that isn't showing he hates losing. But that was one microcosm of the whole problem. And so I am okay with Bieksa saying that, but to suggest that if Yegor had played hard, they're 5-1, not 1-5, not correct. And he's not saying that.
That's not what he's saying.
But what I'm saying is what he's showing with Yegor is a lot of guys on this team.
You saw Lomberg, he strapped Sissons early in the game. That's going back to the Perrick hit from the game here in Calgary. Klapka with a heavy hit. So that's fourth line stuff. But to your point, I almost wonder if all of that is the best thing that could have happened for them because it's so glaring. Shot clock was close, but you were run out of the building.
Yeah.
You're not as good as Vegas, but as you said, you can still try. Yeah. You can still be pissed off and maybe be physical and show that you care. It was a tough watch, I think, for fans.
Yes.
You maybe didn't expect them to win.
If you kept that game on all night, you were committed.
You
got through 40. That's a hell of an effort. Like, I mean, it got to the point where they score late in the second, and everyone is basically either saying or hearing from the broadcast, like, you got to get Wolf out of there. Like, it's a mercy pull at this point. There's like, in front of them is a disaster.
Because you can go into the room and say, okay, our details, our work, what we're doing with the puck, our fundamentals, what we're doing with the X's and O's is not. As soon as you start having your heart questioned, your culture and who you are and all that, that's the stuff I think that wakes up a room. That's what guys say, fuck that. That's
yeah.
So I wonder you were 1-4 heading in.
Yeah, when we're already
should have been there. No, there's no letting them off the hook for what that was.
They come home tonight and they get booed off the ice because Winnipeg is a really good team and Hellebuck could win it himself. I don't know if he's playing, but will that be another? Oh, that's right. Like, it's. I don't disagree with you, but it's like you already knew that if you're that blind and stupid that you didn't realize the Edmonton win was a gift. And the next 4, you didn't win, and you are out of it, and you're in last, and you don't score. No, and the other thing, when we pick up on it from our couches, I can tell you right now, it is as glaring and flat in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Or worse, right? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if we're going, Jesus, they don't really seem invested in this right now. You can sense it worse in the room. You're like, holy shit, we got to find a way, and no one's doing it. And the fight, the Lomberg, good on him, but good on Sissons for answering.
Yeah.
Right? It's more. Sissons was like, fine, I got to answer for this. But
they've had a few fights. Like, there's lots of reasons.
But that's
for the
not
fellas
been a rallying cry for
exactly.
them.
Like, you've had your opportunities to be like, yes, that's one of our boys. We'll play for him, and they haven't really taken advantage of it. I think after the fight against St. Louis, like, they ended up falling apart and losing by 2 again. Like it didn't.
What's going to be
the momentum of the other teams?
What's going to be a catalyst for this team to rally around? And again, it's easy when you're 1-5 to get a little bit disheartened, but mostly you're disheartened for the exact reason you had belief last year, was that, oh my God, they might not win, but I'll be damned if they aren't playing hard. And now you're going 6 games in and you're going, Jesus, are they even really competing? Yeah, for bits and pieces of games, but nowhere near compared to what they were doing last year.
Agreed.
Yeah, this I think
a lot of guys got contracts. You notice that? Well, how's Sharangovich been? We praised Conroy for that trade. I thought Sharangovich was great, and he was
first year. Yeah,
and as soon as he gets, and it goes back to the teams that got these guys. They know what their internal makeup is. They know what
and even the Frost Farabee deal. Like, I've really liked Farabee, who might be the most snake-bitten hockey player in the league by a mile.
But they are what they are.
But like, someone was showing the numbers on Frost. Like, at even strength, he's one of the worst players in the league in terms of goal production since he arrived here.
Yeah, there's been no offense for
none.
him.
And it's like,
and I don't just
when
like
you
the
went
trade,
to Philly, and I don't mind the trade either, but it's like, if you have a young team that needs to be rebuilding and collecting young assets, what you don't want is a guy coming in that looks like a third line checking center. That's not what you were trying to buy.
And again, I agree with you, but I don't mind the stab because you were trying to do it. But
yeah, I like the stab.
But Philly knows what they were.
Yep.
We've watched it long enough. We watch it day in, day out. We've seen it. If this changes, we'll be shocked. Let's move on.
Yeah. And then the other thing with Yegor is, like, he rings one off the bar behind the goalie, and it's like, this is exactly what he was in Jersey, a wildly inconsistent player that can absolutely rifle it, can fly, but you don't know what you're getting. 31 year, 17 the next, injured, doesn't look the same after, their best player, their worst player. Like, the scouting report is inconsistency.
And you wonder now for Huska, you dig into your bag of tricks when you're, so am I giving them shit today? Am I coddling them today? Are we skating today? Is it an off
switching
day?
the lines again? Am I switching the pairs again?
Are we skating lines? Are we going out for beers? It's just,
it's the worst.
This is where you start over tinkering.
Like, I don't know what the hell.
What do you do?
And a coach always feels they are responsible, but a coach can control. At the end of the day, the coach controls one thing: ice time.
Yeah,
that's it. That is it. Because they don't have to listen to him. They don't have to even play his bloody system. They don't have to like him. So what can he do? Well, he can bag you. But even in a bag skate, if you really hate the coach, I'm not bagging. Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
You can sit a guy.
That's bag sends a message. The bag does not give you fresher legs for the next game, right? Like, it's punishment. It's not making
nobody
bags better.
Noodles. Who said it the other day? They don't even do fitness testing. They're not bag skating anyone.
Yeah, I just talked to some people, and it's not been a ton, but there's been a few people like, "Whew, so this Flames this could be bad, right?"
I think it can be bad, and I don't. We're of the. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Long term, this is not a problem.
The only issue I have with the being bad part, if we're going to, is the return for the assets. Is it lower? I agree with you. You're always dumping guys in last place teams, trade to first place teams. That's
Seth
kind
Jones
of the trend.
Goes from Chicago, looks way better in Florida. They got a first and a goalie, Spencer Knight, for him. Like, they did okay. They did great. Florida loved it too. They got a better player than the one they want.
Like, and Anderson, I think, is kind of an outlier on that. But where a guy like Kadri or the older guy, because they weren't tradable for a while.
Right. Yeah.
Does it go? You're not going back that far, are you?
Yeah, I think that's a cap conversation, not a play. But I think the play's a part of it because he's been really good. And I don't think Nazem's not playing well. It's just that he has to masquerade as a number one center in this league at age 35. And he's a number 2 center in this league at age 35.
Always has been.
Yeah, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Behind Matthews, behind McKinnon, and here behind no one. And so, is he in a spot to look at his best? No. But can other NHL general managers understand it? I think they can.
Can I take a shot at another guy?
No way.
Captain got his retirement contract. How's he doing?
I've liked one of his games, and the others I've.
He's the captain of your team.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, and just as the coach and the culture will get questioned, so will the leadership group. That's fair.
Yeah, and it's not. We talked about it, I guess, off air, whatever you want to call this. It just felt like you had the luxury with Backlund of, well, let's play the year and we'll see. We can sign you at Christmas, we can sign you New Year's, trade, whatever.
See how things go.
But you had a year left and then another 2. What happens? I feel like a feel-good event by re-upping the captain could potentially turn into an awkward party down the road when, well,
100% completely unnecessary at that time.
Maybe I'm crazy, but I felt similarly about Huska. They talked openly about not feeling pressure to get it done. Lame duck coaches aren't as a thing like they were before.
First time NHL head coach, right? You don't have to. That's never made the playoffs, and I think he coached his ass off last year and did a hell of a job. But there's no rush to.
You're allowed to watch, and I don't think Huska's a bad coach.
I don't either. I don't think.
I look at a guy that probably, like, you see Huska post game even like game 2 and 3. Like, I was in the post game press conference game 2, and it's like you're 1-1, or I guess you lost in Vancouver, so you're 1-2 after that game. You had an early lead against St. Louis that Saturday afternoon. It goes away, but already you're
wearing it.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it. Now, I don't know that, an extension or not changes any of the way he's feeling, but it was the same situation where you had time to evaluate further. There was no rush. And were we worried about either of these guys becoming more expensive? No.
Yeah. It's and it's not to take a run at Conroy. It's just, I feel for the whole, it feels like they could win 2 in a row and then everything's different.
You're right. They could win 2 in a row and it's different, but how good is it going to get? He just rattled it off. Somebody did the math on it where if you think you're getting to the mid 90s in points, you're now going to have to.
No, the good news is most years, 93 will get you in. Never mind 96 not getting you in. But they don't look even close to a 90-point team. They are last in the NHL. They are the lowest scoring team in the NHL. They are not outworking teams. They have 0 60 minutes efforts in their first 6 games. They're not close.
And I trotted out a lot of names, and I think that's maybe why Huska wears it a little bit. If you get some bounce-back seasons from Zary, Sharangovich, Farabee, Frost, that sort of, if you get, then things could happen. None of those look to be happening.
Yeah, like they have 2 goals from Coronado and 2 from Coleman. One was Stuart Skinner special. Those are your leading scorers.
Yeah.
The other side of that is that we all talked about if we can have all these guys bounce back, then we'll build off of where we were. The problem was we didn't do a lot of analysis of are the other guys going to be as good.
We did. Like you can't put Nazem down for over 30 goals again. That if it did, it'd be incredible. But he's 35, like coming off a career year. You think he's going to go 34,
best case
then 35
scenarios,
back-to-back
you were trotting out the same lineup plus a Perek.
Yeah, and a worse backup. Maybe. I mean,
he
very good start, but
hoping to improve
on a team where everything went right. It's just,
and I'm fine with it. But
big picture, this is wonderful.
It's fine.
This is how you get the types of pieces they're missing.
But for the people that are texting in, going, "How do we fix it?" You're not fixing it. There's no fixing this. What are you talking about?
No, like the Flames should not be.
This is not a win 8 in a row team.
No.
Like where in the schedule is an 8 win? And I'll tell you that the Winter Olympics for teams that are terrible is
not better.
It's not helping you because they're planning the Winter Olympic vacation like tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
The way he's going,
this is what we're looking forward to.
Rasmus doesn't have to worry about the Trey Croner jersey, I don't think, at this point. No, it's early, but. Yeah, there's just a lot of guys that aren't up to standard. No, same. Yeah, and you feel for him if you're Doug Armstrong coming in to watch him, and you're like, yeah, they're playing him with a different duster today, and it was the other duster before, and the other duster before that. Like that's who he's paired with every night.
Yeah, actually, and that's a good point. Like at some point, you want Uyghur to walk up into the coaches and okay, enough of your bullshit.
Give me
ball. I would say that's
Anderson,
the one.
Give me Perek.
That's the one issue I would actually have looking at the lineup and going, well. Why are you screwing over your best defenseman?
Who wants to make team Canada?
He's like, what's the point here? Is everyone terrible? You can't just give them someone good and play 4 defensemen that are good.
And look, if you play a game with Uyghur and Parekh and it's way too much for Parekh, that's fine. You can back him off. It's not like you're putting it in stone.
You're changing them all the time anyway.
People for the next 70 games. You can break it up. But why do we have to be in a garbage time third period before we see it?
You know what, though? And if you want to put on your coaching hat, what I might be doing right now is I'd be taking the roster and I'd be sliding across the table to you.
Uh-huh. Like, you figure this out.
Fucking you.
Yeah.
What do you find some goals, find some solid D play for me with what we got here. Because there's just not a lot there. So I can see why Huska's wearing it.
Yeah,
so
big time.
You're power, you're not getting a lot of offense.
Yeah. Who's on my team?
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm not getting
Who's scoring 30 on this team? Show me.
I'm not getting a lot of offense, and I don't know where it's going to suddenly come from. But it does feel a little bleak. If you are in we'll get to the summer, and if there's a draft lottery and they're not making it, okay, that's exciting.
Yep.
But it's October 20.
Right.
Whoa. And
this is what we thought last year was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got 76 games left, fellas. It's a
0.167.
The team without wins is above them in the standings. This is an odd find.
And fluke wins happen, but you could really be 0-6.
You should really be 0-6.
And not that.
Is there any other loss in there we can spin? That Vegas one was definitely a loss.
But no, didn't St. Louis. They had a third period lead at home. Couldn't tuck that one away against Vegas.
You know what's crazy about and again, this is salt in the wound. This is kicking the horse, but the one win, how fluke, 2 gimme goals, and they still had to go 8 rounds into a shootout together.
A high stick that probably was above the bar.
Yeah. 8 rounds.
2 flukes, a high stick, and 8 rounds of the shootout. On a night where if you switch the goalies, you probably lose 7-0. Like, Wolf was unreal in that game. That was his best game of the season by a mile.
Hey, guys, big one against Cammy and myself got afterburner tonight.
You gonna break out
Jets in town.
You gonna break out the guitars again?
We're gonna
that might be the move.
We're gonna have it for you. Oh, I don't know what the hell. I mean, shit.
I think we'll see a much better effort tonight, but you still get down to the okay, even if this team looks in the mirror and says, fellas, we all have to be better and we're going to play 3 periods, not 2 or 1 or 0. It still doesn't mean it's a win.
Well, that's what I was
they didn't even face Connor Hellebuck last season. They had the backup every time. They might not get Hellebuck tonight, but you could just go lineup over lineup and you're like, yeah, they're, even if they outwork the Jets, this is a team that can beat you tonight.
Yeah, Jets are 4-1. They've won 4 straight after they dropped their season opener. They're where you would expect them to be. They're near the top of their division and
won the President's Trophy last year.
Yeah. So that'll be
I guess the West, I should say.
Yeah. Be a tough one for sure. Hey, buddies, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.